Dude, I suck at this.
Hit the wrong button, huh? Playing the wrong video.
I suck at this. Need
What?
editing capabilities right it from the get-go.
Yeah, it's all good.
Well, here we go.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to a Tuesday afternoon with Jake and Jordan hitting the chip. This is going to be a interesting day. George's in what? Kansas City?
Kansas City,
Yeah,
Missouri.
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 And I'm sitting in the kitchen of my house since I'm having issues with my basement and internet connection and camera. And so this is going to be a lot of fun, especially to talk about what happened this weekend and going forward. So, again, hello. This is hitting the chip.
There's a
And we'll
lot
talk about,
to talk about.
talk about the man on my chest here as well. But I am Jake, driver of the 89 game, co-host of this podcast. And to me, I don't know which direction you are, so I'm just going to point that way.
Wrong.
No, damn it. That way. Damn
That
it.
way.
That's okay.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
This direction.
Yeah.
I'm Jordan Smith, driver of the 13S Gam. Yes, and welcome to the show, everybody. Like Jake kind of touched on, there's quite a bit to talk about today, and a lot to look forward to this upcoming weekend. Yeah, let's kick this right. Like let's do this off. So here we go. Without further ado, give a shout out to our presenting sponsor for this here podcast, and then we'll just jump right into it.
I know he's down there just making noises, stalling. He just puts so much work into keeping this act going.
Hey. Yeah, Mandy's still home. Her friend's gonna pick her up like any moment. Can you do like a loop around the block or something? Perfect. Okay. Yes. All right. Thanks. See you soon.
Oh boy, here we go.
Yeah. But before I do want to say something before we jump into this weekend's events. Obviously, biggest news of the weekend. We lost a legend, Mr. Johnny Whittar. All our prayers, of course, are to the Whittar family, and going forward, help them out with anything they need. The community's huge, and I know everybody's going to show their support. They've already been sending lots of prayers. Obviously, people have seen Facebook and they see how much love is being spread out. So I got myself my Johnny Whittar's t-shirt. So real quick before we kind of move on again, people have kind of told stories about what they have encountered with John over the years. And for as long as we've known him, the only really big one memory I have of him, I remember it was 2 years ago. We had Outlaw Beer as a sponsor, and it was before the season started, and we finally were able to get tires. And there was about 3 or 4 people that showed up early. We were one of them, and the tire shed was already open. And Johnny hates when you open the tire shed before he gets there. He just absolutely hates it. So I remember he drove up and he got out of the truck. You sons of bitches, goddamn frickin' racers. I hate you guys. You guys suck. I said 11 to frickin' 3 and it's 10:50 and you guys sons of bitches. And I'm just going to quit this shit. And then as soon as he got around the front end of his truck and noticed that there was 3 cases of Outlaw, 2 cases of Coors Light, and then I don't even know what other case of beer was sitting there. He's like, oh shit, I fucking love you guys. Fuck, go grab whatever you want. Get started. I don't even give a shit. I'm going to start drinking beer. Oh my God. I laughed for about 10, 15 minutes at that point. But oh man, Johnny Whittar, what a man. That's one of the best memories I've had of him over the last 5 years that we've been racing again.
There's a lot of classics with that man. Going to, private practices whenever we would call him up and be like, hey, is it all right if we come out? Yeah, come on out. And you get there and he's got his t-shirt off and he's sitting in his little vehicle cart thing and he's got a Coors Light in his hand, a 24
warm Coors Light.
Yeah. And that would be the thing, right? You'd ask him, be like, so how many of those you down or whatever. He would never really give you a full like number, but then he'd give you that detail about how he likes them warm, and you're like, man, like that is just gross.
Yeah.
It is 95 degrees out here. You
And
got
you got
no
100-degree, yeah, you got 100-degree beer in your hand.
It's like it'd be boiling by the time it would hit his
Yeah.
lips, and he'd just be, oh, it's so
Can't
good.
even hold the can because it's so goddamn hot. Then you look at him like, John, you got any sunscreen on? Nope. What's that?
Yeah, no shit.
Oh,
Or he'd be sitting there in that shed, and then it'd be like, it'd be your early season, late season, right? And you're in t-shirt and shorts, and he's got the doors closed, and it's like 120 degrees inside that shed, and he's got a jacket on.
Oh yeah, well the dude, he had what, 1%, 0.5% of body fat there in the last couple of years. He probably needed it to keep warm.
It's true.
Shit, I was wearing a long sleeve today to keep the sun off my skin, but I mean, shoot, for a while there, I was wearing a long sleeve. It's like, yeah, it's still just a little bit chilly there. I don't have that whole lot of body fat, so I get it. But yeah, God love Johnny. I don't have a beer, but I know George doesn't have a beer. But cheers to you, Johnny.
Yeah.
One day we will all be back up there, and we'll see you, and we'll be drinking heavenly beer up there with you. Hopefully, not warm heavenly beer, but we will drink heavenly beer with you.
He didn't even know what a cooler was.
Yeah.
Like, what's that?
Yeah, what's that? Does that keep your skin cold or what?
Oh man.
Yes, but he will be surely missed, and
that's for sure.
Yes.
He was he looked pretty rough coming into the season last year. Towards the end of the year, see him all the time, and he looked good, but you knew he was kind of struggling at the early parts of the season when he was there doing tires and stuff. You just knew he just didn't look well, and so no more pain for him, so that's a great thing. But yeah, he'll definitely surely be missed.
Yeah. One thing he would never do is miss a race, though.
That's true.
He would never miss a race. I can't remember what he said. There was something he had said to us last year. He's like, I think out of the last 30 years, I've missed one race. It's like, really? That's just phenomenal. I mean, for him, I mean, my wife would probably be like, no, that's disgusting. That means we went one time on vacation in 30 years. Huh, babe? Yes.
She didn't even deny it. She just straight to the point.
Yes.
Oh my God, that's funny. No, another good memory that I have is when like Jim or Greg wasn't ever there to give the driver's meeting, and he'd be the one giving the driver's meeting.
Uh-huh.
And you could never hear anything that he ever said. It was like just mumbles.
Well, no, he would have the microphone like.
That's what I mean.
It's like, John, put the microphone.
Yeah.
Come on, John, we can't hear you. Fucking racers, goddammit.
You fucking guys.
I'm not gonna repeat myself. Get to staging now.
But it sounded, I mean, you couldn't really hear him, but the sound that was coming out of it was just like, you couldn't hear nothing.
Yeah.
Oh, it was so funny. You'd be like, well, that was a good meeting. And then he'd ask you, you guys good? You just all shook your head. Yep, we're good.
Yeah. And then you go back to your pit. What'd they say in the pit meeting? No idea.
No idea.
We were racing tonight. That's what I got out of that.
Yeah. But hats off to Johnny.
Yes.
Definitely a staple in the racing community. I saw Speed Sport did a column on him today that I saw was getting
that's cool
and passed around. And yeah, he's been there since 1965, started racing in the 1950s.
Yeah.
Or being part of racing in the 1950s. And then a staple that the only time that he missed, from what I read, the only time he missed racing in Colorado was when he was in the military from
Wow.
up until 71, something like that. I'm sure somebody could give me a little bit more detail of what years that he served,
Yeah.
but 71, and then from then on he'd been there. Pretty
Wow.
crazy. I mean, that's
That is crazy.
dedication to its max, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And making chassis for what I saw since like this, yeah, like 78 or
Mhm.
something like that. He'd been making roll cages and chassis for Howe.
Well,
Was it?
he was a part of Howe, like a Howe dealer. I do remember him telling us that story one time that he was um, helping Howe out and was kind of a dealer for Howe for a long time, and then he's always been a Hoosier dealer for the longest
Mm-hmm.
time as well, and that's a huge part of the reason why especially during the COVID years and stuff. If it wasn't for Johnny, we would have been screwed.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they weren't available at that point, and he was
Yeah.
able to capture as many as he possibly could because I think just that relationship that he had for so long.
Yeah.
So yeah, he did a lot. You know what I mean? He did a lot for this that specifically that racetrack, more or less.
Mm-hmm.
So
Hoosiers should send us some tires that every tire has a little JW on it.
that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Or the serial numbers are all start with JW.
Yeah, JW.
Yeah,
115249. Whatever.
Whatever.
Oh.
Anyways, yeah, I mean, definitely a good outpouring. This past weekend, you saw a lot of racers do some tributes to him, and man, that was tough because we found out like right when we got
At
there.
the track. Yeah, at the track.
At the track, we had found out that he had passed, and then they made the announcement during the drivers' meeting, and Jim got a little choked up, and rightfully so. A lot of people afterwards were celebrating and doing shots and drinking, I think, cooler Coors Lights.
Yeah.
But you could feel
I still won't drink. If I'm gonna cheers him, I'm still not drinking a warm beer. I mean, yeah. I mean, the mountains can be like a tint of purple, and that's about it. If they're white, I'm not doing it.
Still a good indication.
Yeah.
But yeah, he'll definitely be a missed soul. So definitely thinking about Troy and Gage and that entire family, and hopefully get to see them soon as well. So
yep.
With that being said, let's talk about the weekend, right? So
yeah,
given overall here, it was the AC transmission night at CNS. You had the late models, the figure eights, the legends, the bandoleros, and then the trains were in attendance last weekend. So we'll kind of start off. I'll kick us off. I'll talk about the bandos. Get a good bird's eye view of pretty much all of those races.
Yeah.
Now, right? Junior bandits. Starting with the dash race. Addie, my daughter, she started on the pole, got out to an early lead, and held on to it from there. It was kind of funny because it was kind of a replication of the very first race that she had, and she ended up losing it last lap, last corner. So was super proud of her. As a dad watching her go across start finish line and take checkered flag. I mean, no prouder moment than that for sure.
When we were over in Tech, when she was getting her trophy and taking her picture, she got out. She's like, "Uncle Bob, I'm shaking." I'm like, that's good. That means you're emotional because you won. She goes, "How do I get it to stop?" I'm like, just let it ride it out, man. She's so cute.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, poor Nicole. She was bawling her face off in the stands. And then you got to recoup because even though that happened, the next race comes up. And
yeah, the next kid come up.
Next kid's coming up. So good job, Addie G. And the rest of the drivers too. There was no incidents during that whole race. They went green to checkered. The next dash race, Nora started outside pole, got to the lead early, and broke a chain. So I felt so bad. She just had the worst luck this season so far. I
Yeah.
mean, and haven't had any issues with her car the first couple seasons, like no issues whatsoever. And then like just the gremlins all of a sudden hit with her, So unfortunate, but good race by the rest of the kids. She did a good job. I was really proud of her because she made the decision. She went straight down the back straightaway and went off into turn 3, got completely out of the way, right? Like didn't pull down to the infield, nothing. She just got completely out of the way, and smart move for her. That was her own choice, and it's good to see like kids in general start to make those kind of moves and just get the hell out of the racing way, right? So going on to win the Bandit Dash was Isaac Mead, who's been really fast so far at the early part of this season. I mean, I think that the competition-wise in the Bandits this year, as far as the experienced Bandits, not the juniors, it's been super tight, like really tight. There's like five or six kids that can really, take it any given night. So it's definitely made the competition a lot better and the racing is more exciting. So congrats to him. Let's see, the Outlaws. Let me go up to there. That's the only race I didn't really actually get to catch. But the 84 and the 23, Peyton Opperman and Kaylee started on the front row, and then they kind of got shuffled around. And Liam Hammond, man, that kid's just like on a tear. I mean, he ended up just catching the lead and then kind of took it away from there. I mean, that kid's he's been, I mean, anywhere he goes really has a chance of winning. He's gone into Vegas before and done really well, won some races down there. And then, yeah, I mean, coming here, he's been kicking ass. I mean, needless to say, he's been kicking ass. So
yeah,
congrats to him. And then your features in the Bandits, they poor Addie G, she spun herself out and then got going again, and then was up in turn 1 and then got tangled with the 98, and nobody's fault, right? Like it's just a racing deal.
Yeah.
Spun out. I do have to say one thing about that whole situation, and I'll get into the rest of the highlight. So one of the track officials went over to her car. She pulled off the racing surface and was down in the dirt area right next to the flag stand for the figure eights right there. And she was scared. She was like, I'm done. She's like, I don't want to do this. And really kind of like almost gave up in the moment. And I forget what his name is. It's older Wes. Guy, Wes.
His first name is Wes. Yeah.
Okay.
I can't remember his last name, but I do believe it's Wes.
Wes went over to her and talked to her and told her, like, don't quit. You can do this. Like, just finish the race, right? Like, he's like, can you just not quit on me? Like, just don't quit on me. You can do this. Like, you got this, girl. And, and then that gave her the confidence right there to just get back out there and at least finish the race. So amazing, right? Like, for a kid like that to be able to go, it could have easily just been like, all right, just sit there, no big deal, right? Like, but he helped give him the encouragement, and that's what they need, right? Especially at that young of an age. It was kind of funny. We're sitting up in the stands, and then we heard there's a cop in our pit. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Running over, and it's him, and he was telling us what kind of had happened, and I was, super grateful at that point.
Yeah, our whole team's running over the pit. Like, what the hell is going on? Somebody stealing something, or did we like get in trouble, or what the hell? Nora's like, oh, I thought it was a cop. Like, a cop that says officials on his shirt,
white. Yeah. NASCAR on the side.
Yeah,
a little different.
Dirt.
But yeah, great race there too. And I got another funny story to tell you. So Nathan Gasser, his son Chandler is racing this year. And before the race even started, I was kind of like cruising through Facebook, and I saw that he, or I think it was his wife maybe, had posted, or somebody from their crew had posted that he had told his son Chandler, if you win the race, I'll give you $1,000 in Robux points. And if you all don't know what Robux is, it's a game like an app game, and you can like buy. You have a character, and you can like buy things with money, like real money, right? Like clothes and different tools and all kinds of stuff. So he's like, I'll give you $1,000 if you go out and win the race. So what's that little kid do? He goes out there and wins the race.
He's like that kid in Ready Player One, where all of a sudden now he's got all that money and he's like, shit, yeah, I just became king.
So there's like a couple laps to go in the race, and they're getting all excited, right? Like rightfully so. And I go running down there. I was like, dude, you're about to lose $1,000. He goes, I know, this sucks.
Shouldn't have said anything, damn it.
So poor kid, he comes off the track, right? Gets his trophy, goes off the track, and first thing his dad does when he gets over in the tech, he tells him, he goes, so where's my $1,000? Not even, hey, excited, like I got to win, nothing.
Yeah,
$1,000.
Yeah.
Oh, so funny.
Oh my God,
So
that
funny.
is hilarious.
Yeah.
Well, there goes a set of tires for Nathan this weekend for the Super Late Model.
Great. It was just great. That whole, and congratulations to that kid. He's a hell of a shoe, and he's definitely gotten a lot more confidence as the seasons progress. And I was super proud of him. But I couldn't help but laugh my ass off when he made that bet. I was like, you totally had it coming, dude. Like totally had it coming. So
but you won't do that again.
Oh God, no. I think that's a one-time offer, right? Like,
yeah.
If he didn't win, that's a nope. Offers off the table. For the Bandit feature, I mean, great race overall. Same thing. Kids were real dicey with each other. Some passing going on, and then I forget what it was. Emerson Wenzel. I forget how to pronounce her last name. She had spun out, and then they had a late caution, and it kind of stacked them all up with like 3 to go or something like that. And Madison Stanley and I forget who the 28 kid. I always forget that little kid's poor name. The number 28. I'm looking it up right now. Hayden Powers. Him and Isaac and Madison, they were all fighting for position really hard. Between the 3 of them, they did a really good job. But Isaac Meade ended up winning the race and swept the night. So congratulations to that kid. He's done a fantastic job this early part of this season as well. He's super fast too. I mean, his lap times are like over a half a second faster than the rest of the field, like
Jesus.
Qualifying and stuff. It's crazy. So they got that car dialed in, that's for sure.
Yeah, they do.
The Outlaws. So I did get to watch the feature for the Outlaws. Man, Lily Tuttle, she just took
She was on a mission. She did not want to give up that win on Saturday.
And I say little, Liam Hammond, I think, is pretty much as tall as I am. He was trying his ass off to get there, but she got out front and got like a couple car length lead and just never let go of it. The battle was kind of back from there. It was between the 3rd and 4th place with Jackson Mueller and Dutch Vanderwall, I think it is. They had a pretty good battle going on. It is really fun to watch little Jackson Mueller race in the Outlaws. Like he is learning and learning quick. I mean, that kid
he's getting there.
He's going to be fast here. Give him another year of experience, and he's going to be a force to be reckoned with.
I thought at the end of that main event, I don't remember who he was chasing, but I thought they were locked bumpers. Because, I mean, everywhere the car in front of him went, he went. And it wasn't like there was a delay in, because there's always like 1/2 a second delay of a car going and then you go.
Yeah.
It was like they were locked bumpers, but they weren't. He was just staying right there. It was like drafting her, someone around the track the whole time. That was cool to watch.
It's been fun watching the Outlaws this year. I mean, those little cars, they get after it. I mean, they're cooking around that half.
Yes, they are.
Right. But anyways, congratulations to Lily Tuttle. Fantastic job. I don't know if that's her first win or not. I'm sure somebody might know in the comments section if that was or if it wasn't. But I mean, she kicked ass at least Saturday night, so that was awesome.
Yeah, that was awesome.
So, do you want to touch on the legends?
I was gonna do the figure eights and late models if you want. So I watched both of those.
I did too. I didn't get a chance to watch the legends at all. Not
Yeah, I
even
didn't.
from start to the finish, nothing. So
I mean, I got.
apologize to everybody.
Yeah. Well, it's just the legends run right after the bandos, so it's like, we're in our pit and the legends go. So we apologize, everybody. Yes, that we don't get to watch the legends much, but I feel like there was a little bit of the legends. What dash was it? I think it was the fast dash. We got to watch a little bit of the fast dash. I don't even remember exactly what happened.
I know
in the
Wyatt
fast
won
dash.
it. I know Wyatt ended up winning it.
Yeah, Wyatt won it, and who won the slow dash? Looking it up here. Sorry, everybody. Fast dash. Dash. Here we go.
Like it was Dylan Foster.
Yeah, Dylan Foster won that one. Yeah, I'd love to talk about like battles or incidents that happen on the racetrack, stuff like that. But we apologize to all the Legends drivers, because especially they're bringing 40 cars out. I mean, they got a healthy class of cars this year, and there are a couple missing still. I know that I saw Ashlyn Himmler this weekend, and she's getting close. She's got some testing to do, and hoping in the next 2 weeks that she can at least get back in the car and
See,
at least kind of run some laps, practice, see what she's feeling like. But I don't think they have the Legend anywhere close to being ready yet. So I know she's going to be running more of the truck. But I do know that, my gosh, I'm just spacing on names. The guy that runs the radio for the bandos. He was involved with her accident.
Barry.
Yeah, he's doing good. He's been at the track and doing a great job with the radio. I know we've had problems with the bandos with the radio, and he's kind of usually the one that takes it, but he's been racing. So I know that he's been doing, obviously, their radio. So he's been doing a great job, because there hasn't been too big of incidents with the bandos other than, little things here and there. So,
well, even the kids have said, because I asked them, how was it on the radio tonight? And they've all said, oh, it was good,
Yeah.
So, and you can see it, like you said, when, not to get back on the bandos, but when there's like a caution or something, right? Like setting them around the big track to do a lap and whatnot. So it's good to see that communication is definitely improved over the course of the season.
Yeah, exactly.
But hey, there's a name in the Legends that hasn't shown up this year that did make a name for himself once again. First night out, Danny Medina.
Oh, well, I was going to talk about, yes, Mr. Staple. Always can have him up in the at least top 3, Mr. Danny Medina. There was a surprising thing he said post-race when he was doing his trophy presentation and doing his interview, is that he wasn't going to run a whole lot of races this year. Maybe that's due to funding. Obviously budgets are tight, and, when you don't have tons of sponsors, this stuff gets expensive. And
just assuming, right? Like,
yeah, just assuming. I have no idea.
Yeah.
But he did state that, he was going to run as many as he can, but he wasn't going to run a full season this year. So I would assume, obviously, once INX Nationals come into town for those 3 days, that he'll run those races, obviously. And maybe that's the reason why he's not going to run the full schedule, is because he's going to put everything he's got into those 3 days. But
I'm pretty sure he signed up for the Vegas race.
Oh, did he?
For the Open Wheel Showdown. Let me confirm.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that he is on the list, but I will confirm while you continue to talk.
Yeah. But the little bit of the fast dash that I was able to see, man, the Legends just fascinate me. And the reason I say that is, you mess up just a hair, you're getting tramped by 9 cars in less than 2 laps.
Yeah.
And it's just amazing. It's just like a train. You mess up, one car gets underneath you, you're going first to 10th in 2 laps.
Right.
It's just fascinating that those cars do not work on the high side. Like, I know Wyatt Dent won his dash and he was on the high side, but I think the car that started on the front row was like a 10th place qualifier, or maybe kind of a little bit further back, and just the luck of the pill draw. And hell, Wyatt was just sending it in that dash race. But yeah, it's just amazing to me that in the modified and late models and super lates and the trucks, you see it even in the, I mean, super stocks especially, you know, you can hang in there in that second lane, and but them cars, they just do not like that second lane.
Yeah, it is kind of interesting because you even see them racing down to like a place like Tucson, right, where there's like 3 grooves, and they get dicey with each other all over the racetrack there.
Yeah,
It's just CNS for some reason. It's just
it is a bottom feeder track. Yeah.
it sucks. I mean, it kind of sucks in a way because I mean, there's definitely good battles that happen all over the racetrack, but when it's just a one-legged track, you know what I mean? Like it takes away from a potential like good finishes, but there's just an additive to the race, right? Like that, they're another element in a sense.
Yeah, we see all these other races, guys and gals will be battling for like 6, 7, 8 laps side by side, but you know, legends that
Doesn't
6, 7, 8 laps, you're going from wherever you were all the way to the back if you're hanging out up there 6 or 7 laps.
Yeah, that's true.
That's
so true.
Which, and with this choose cone rule, that makes it interesting because it's like, knowing that the legends are a bottom feeder car at this track, you know, do you choose the top, even though maybe you go from 10th to 2nd? Do you still, or, you know, 4th, let's say, you know, do you take that risk that, you know, you can hang up there for a couple laps until things maybe spread out and get to the bottom quick, or go from 2nd to like 12th, you know? So the legends, we got to start watching the legends a little more, especially with this choose cone, because we got to start seeing what the strategy is with a lot of these cars.
Well, you saw it happen in some of the other races that happened later on in the night. It definitely creates. Well, needless to say, in the fast legends though, they went green to checkered, so it really didn't matter.
Yeah, it didn't matter. Yeah,
it never would have. It never came into play, at least Saturday night. But yeah, you're right. I mean, that can throw a wrench in everything, especially for somebody. If everybody chooses the bottom, right, the first top 10 cars or so, right, and then there's somebody sitting in 12th or something sees an opportunity.
You better be going up there.
I mean, you might as well
go for it. You know, like, you want to sit in 12th, or do you want to at least try and be a top 5? Yeah, we'll talk about the late models, and because I want to talk about the choose cone, because it did come into quite a little bit of effect in their feature race.
It definitely did. So,
Mm-hmm.
but anyways, to kind of close off the legends, congratulations to Dylan Foster for getting his win, and then Danny Medina as well. Top 5 for the Legends Fast was Danny Medina, Wyatt Dent, almost swept the night, but didn't quite get there. Warren Tuttle, Scotty Scott, and then Travis Rowe. Poor Scotty Scott, man. I know he started off in the front and then just got it seems like he's good early, and then it's just over the longevity of the race, it just he ends up losing just a little bit, and it's been consistent, right? But top 5s and whatnot, but just I don't know, just no luck on his side, and you know that kind of thing. But yeah, let's you want to talk about the figure 8s first, or you want to talk about the late models?
Yeah, I'll do the figure 8s first. I did think it was interesting that they did a split. They did a dash figure 8, and then they did a fast dash figure 8. I thought that was interesting. And there was only 4 cars in the dash.
To me,
and then I know, but it just was interesting because then I think what was the 22 car, the new one that showed up, he had some sort of issue with he was smoking like crazy, and then it ended up being like a 3-car dash. It was like, well, that kind of sucks, but anyway, was
like
it
if there was 25 of them, totally understand.
Yeah.
And I
Right.
get the nature of, from a driver's perspective too, that you want to get a chance to try and earn yourself a trophy. You know
Right.
what I mean? I totally get that fact. But I mean, it is what it is when there's only, hold on, let me go down to it. When there's only 10 that show up. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah. And I don't want to take anything away from the figure eight guys and gals that you shouldn't have 2 dashes. But I mean, when it comes down to car count, right? Like if the modifieds had 10 cars, I would not want to have a five car dash. Just run us 10 cars and that's it.
Yeah.
And then just invert however you want to invert, right? Like it, to me, that just is not entertaining to the fans, right?
Very true.
So,
Very
but
true.
anyway, so Isaiah Proctor, I do believe, took that dash. And then in the fast dash, Michael Wolf Jr. was your eventual winner, but I thought this was interesting. Jeremy Wall was working that inside. I remember he was telling, I got my car working on the inside. So when I'm trying to pass cars, everybody wants to go up to the top of the track and then, obviously cut the corner coming down, going through the X. And he's been trying to get that inside working. Well, I think he forgot about one aspect on the track, and that's the inside tire. Yep. The inside tire. And he smoked that inside tire. I think luckily, because of his new body this year, that it didn't really do more damage than it seemed like it was. I didn't ask him. I didn't get a chance to ask him what the full damage was, but obviously he got it fixed enough to where he got out and made it to the main event. But I know Michael Wolf Jr. got out to an early lead and kept it and then ended up winning. So good job to him. In the feature, it started getting interesting there. Congratulations, first off, to D3, our alum on the podcast. He got out front, and it was great because there were so many battles behind him. You could tell he was hustling the shit out of that car early to try and get a big as lead as he possibly could, because you had Michael Wolf and Jeremy and some other guys. They were coming, and they had to kind of come from the back. And, when they're battling other cars trying to get up there, you got to try and get the longest lead you can, biggest lead you can. And he did. And I'm real proud of that guy, because, they were coming. And I think Jeremy and Michael and a couple other guys, they kind of wore their stuff out a little bit trying to catch him. And he just kept hustling that car to the win. And there was a lot of times in the X, especially I think about 5 to go, that they started catching the back of the field.
Yeah.
And there was 2 or 3 times for sure. I'm like, holy shit. Why are these guys in the back not like at least, but they made it through. But
Dude,
there was a couple
there was some
pucker moments.
Yeah, there were some sketchy moments. You're like,
I think I don't remember what car it was, but right when D3 started catching the end of the field through the X, it was like that first car. It was like, and it was just, oh my God. I'm like, you've worked this big ass lead and you get this great lead, and you're like, man, just get it, keep it. And then you all of a sudden just the last car just takes you out. Like, that would be the worst.
Well, if you remember, he did have to full 4-wheel stop that thing.
There was one, yeah.
There was one where he lifted. And,
it was like, and if he lost that race, it'd be because of that.
You could see the smoke from the tires, and it was like, shit. At that point, I thought he had lost it, because he built up that lead, right? And then he had
lost a good chunk of it.
Yeah, and lost a good 2-3 car lengths at least. And then he held on. I mean, super proud of that guy. The best moment of that entire race, though, was the interview.
Oh, the mullet. Oh man, there is no business in the front. It's all party. It's all party. Don't ever get rid of it. That was the greatest.
He had me cracking up so bad. That was such a good interview.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that was so funny.
Yeah.
It's all party. There was no
Mhm.
business. When he took his helmet off, he's like, "Oh my God, look at that thing!"
Oh God.
Oh,
That's the best. I mean, shit. Even in the post race photo with Joe Starr's photos, it's great. You can kind of see it. It's not as great as seeing it in person, but you can see it. And oh man, yeah, it's all curled. And do you perm that thing? I know he's watching. You
that's got to
perm
be
that thing?
natural, dude. It's got to be all
No,
natural.
you think so?
Maybe some Soul Glow.
Yeah. Soul Glow, or does he brush it with that whalebone comb like in Blades of Glory? This thing cost me $12,000 or 3 million euro. There's only 13 made every year.
Oh my God, that's so funny. Oh, but I mean, how could you not cheer for D3 at the end of that race? Though
Yeah,
I was cheering for him. I mean,
I was.
it was awesome.
I mean, they've been working hard on that car, and I know that they did a bunch of changes this off season, and it's good to see. And it's I love Jeremy Wall. Don't get me wrong, but it's good to see parity back into the figure eights a little bit.
Yeah,
so far this year.
It's true. And hats off to both him and Michael Wolf too. They both drove by him and were congratulating him. You can see him through the windows and stuff.
He says, "I have to put it in a pony now because if I don't, it gets caught in my belts and pulls the shit out of it."
All natural, baby.
Oh,
All natural.
Yeah, you have to be like those wrestlers, right? Where they get it all like soaking wet before they go out and perform. You just got to douse yourself in water before you go out, so that way, when you're done and you take that helmet off, it's just shake it. Yeah,
Like them old like shampoo commercials back in the 90s and stuff. Just
all natural, baby.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's great.
Oh, that's funny. Thank you for the good laugh, Dennis.
Yes.
Not making fun, but it was entertaining.
Yes. Damn, I didn't even see this comment. Damn, CNS dog me. No, you guys, come on. It's all for love, D3, man.
All love. It's your signature look, dude.
Yeah.
Signature look.
Mm-hmm.
But congratulations to him. Like you said, good to see some parity back into the figure eights. He got his win. Michael Wolf finished second. Jeremy Wall finished third. Isaiah Proctor was fourth. And Jared Wall in the bright yellow car came in fifth. So hats off to all you guys. You did put on a hell of a race. I'm going to say it was damn entertaining. I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was awesome. I thought it was great. I think it was the best one of the season so far by far.
Yeah, out of their the three, I think did they have done 3 or 2?
Two.
Yeah,
it's 2.
Well, it's going to be the best one until something else comes up, but this one's going to hold for a while.
Yeah, for sure. All right, should we move on to the late models?
Yes.
Go ahead.
And this is interesting because I saw Brett Marine today, and I know they're watching. And we kind of had some discussions a little bit, and we'll talk about tires here after this, but kind of like we talked about in the mods a couple weeks ago, there was a couple of cars that came out and haven't raced yet, and everybody else is on their second or third night, right, on their tires, and you got to put what I think he said 25 pounds. I thought it was 35 pounds, but it's 25 pounds.
In the rules, it says 35.
Well, he said there was 25 pounds. So I thought that was interesting.
Subjective now.
But again, you basically can put it wherever you want, as long as it's in the front of the car. But as we saw on Saturday night, that 25 pounds didn't make any difference.
It doesn't
whatsoever.
It doesn't.
When I especially with F70s and these late models, I'll put new tires on every night. If I have to put 25 pounds on, I'll put new tires on it every night. I don't care, you know,
Yeah.
because I mean, it doesn't make a difference, right? But it surely showed because Mr. Eric Meisner came out.
No fault of his, right? Like
No fault of his at all. I'm not blaming him at all, right?
Because
But
I talked to him before the races. I was
Mhm.
giving him kind of shit about the look of his car because I liked the old paint scheme that he had better.
Yeah,
But he said
Gotta have the-
they'd work their ass off. He was working till like 2, 3 in the morning trying to get that thing ready to go just to get it on the track. You know what I mean? So he's doing what he can. He wasn't like playing the system more or less, right?
yeah, and he showed, you know, I can't remember where he qualified, but I know he qualified pretty good. But he had to start in the back of the slow dash, and I think it only took him 3 laps
Oh yeah.
in that dash to go from the rear to the front. And not saying anything bad about the drivers in that class or, you know, in the dash, but when you're on fresh tires and you're a fast car and you're a champion from last year, you know, you're going to go to the front pretty quick, and it showed with new tires, and that 25 pounds really didn't matter. So hats off to him. You know, he got the win and deservedly, you know, drove the hell out of the car. But I don't think there was any incidents, if I remember right, in that dash. There was some, you know, dodge, dip, dive, duck, and dodging. You know, that just means there was good side-by-side racing. You know, guys don't, you know, banging each other a little bit, but nothing too bad. But you know, Meisner ended up taking the win. In the fast dash, this is the one I didn't see, but I know that Dan Alma won that race. And I don't think there was any incidents in that race either, if I do recall.
I didn't watch that, but I did watch the feature.
Yeah, the feature I did watch, and you and I can kind of go back and forth with this one. The choose cone, I thought, came into huge effect on Saturday night, especially with the late models.
Yep.
I don't remember what the starting lineup was. I think Tessa Marine.
She started on the
started on the front row. Yeah. I don't remember who oh, it was Michael Hanna. And
because he jumped out to an early lead.
Yeah, he was the pole sitter, and he jumped the start. It was actually a fast start because I think they had to redo the start because I think he, like, going into turn 3, he just was like gone, right? And like everybody else was like already friggin' like half a track back and was like, well, let's restart and do that again, right? But I think it was about maybe halfway through there was a caution, and it was like, all right, let's see what's going to happen with this choose cone, especially with some people on brand new tires, a lot of them not. And I was very surprised that the first like 4 or 5 cars chose the bottom.
Yeah.
If I remember right, there was like
right,
the first 4 cars chose the bottom, and I think 5th or 6th place ended up jumping up into second.
Well, no, second, whoever was in second at the time ended up taking the outside pole. But then from there back, it was like 3 or 4 cars in a row chose the bottom.
Yeah,
and I do remember Ben Stanley, who was sitting, I don't remember what position, maybe 12th, 13th.
I think he was,
right around there.
He was somewhere in mid-pack, yeah.
Yeah, he was up to like the 3rd row at that point because he's just like, okay, I'm going to
why
the top.
not?
Right, why not?
Yeah, I just gained four spots because you guys all want to be bottom feeders.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. And in those cars, it's been proven that you can run the top.
You can run the top.
You can run it.
Shoot, Dan Alma was running some of when in his red car the last race, he was running the freaking 3rd lane, which that was the caution. That's right.
It was Mariah Boudreau. They went 3 wide. She was on the top.
That one car was that new guy.
Which we'll talk about him.
Yeah, Robinson is his last name.
Oh, timeout. I don't.
I don't remember his name, but he friggin'
Caleb
first time in a
Johnson.
race car, and he was like,
Caleb
damn.
Johnson is his name.
Johnson. That's right.
And from what I heard, his dad was an ex-pro football player or something like that. But I don't know for sure. This is all just hearsay that I, at the racetrack. But anyways, neither here nor there. So earlier in the race, he got tangled up with Dan Alma and who was the other car? I forget who the other car was that he got tangled up with. Tore up his right rear a little bit. Dan Alma took off the whole left front fender and everything. And
I think it was Casey Wiggins.
Oh, you're right. It was Casey Wiggins. You're right. You're correct. It was Casey Wiggins. And then Dan ended up pulling off, and that kid, he had to go to the rear of the field. And when they did the choose cone, he chose the top and was like, wanted to go all the way up to 6, but because
that's right. And they were like, no. Good try.
Good try.
But no. I applaud him for doing that because it's smart. Yeah, like it's the choose cone, but yeah, when you get sent to the back, you go to the longest line.
You go to the longest line. And so but yeah, he had made his way back up through the field and then just putting the pressure on him, right? He took it 3 wide, and Lee Kemet was on the outside. And Lee, to me, from the angle, looked like he held his lane. And it's just 3 wide racing, right? Like people are pinching each other, and it just was a racing deal. And she got backed into the fence. Took a little while for them to get her going again, but she ended up driving away and took it to the pits. Don't know the extent.
About burned up a clutch with 4 flat tires trying to get up the angle of the track. Yeah.
But then after that, it was, so then they had the restart, right? And then they were doing the choose cone there. And then Meisner did the same thing, took the outside lane, gained a couple positions. And at that point, to me, right, like, he's on brand new tread and he's got a fast car for the night. The last thing you want to do is put him in a position to try and, be up towards the front.
See, and this is kind of what I want to talk about with the choose cone and tire deal, because a lot of the classes right now where they're going to start, they're all going to start being on new tires again. There's going to be some oddballs here and there, but a lot of them are going to be on the same tire cycle again, especially super late models and the mods after this weekend. But that kind of goes to show you that there's got to be some good strategy, because if you, as a spotter, knowing that he's got new tires, or this car, whatever other car has got new tires, and you're sitting 4th, 5th, but yet nobody's really chosen the top yet, and that car is sitting in 6th, 7th, or 8th, it's like, you better just go choose that, because you don't want him. Now he's past you. Like, now you have no chance, because you're screwed. Yeah, you got no chance to battle that car or keep it behind you, because you just let it go by for no reason.
Right. You essentially gave up the position without even giving up the position.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, it does. It totally has. It's brought that extra element to the races, and you really pay attention to it now to see who does what. And that's something I've definitely taken notice of, especially like you said, in this race. It was used. It was used, and it totally changed the outcome of what it could have possibly been. Because had he been shuffled back a little bit more, he might not have gotten in the position of winning. You never know. I still think he would have gotten close, but maybe not have won. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, because Michael Hanna was doing pretty good. Yeah, he was fast.
He was fast, and I got to give it up to that Caleb Johnson kid, because he started at the end of the longest line and finished 3rd, and he was at the end of that race. He was hauling ass.
I don't know if he's raced anything before jumping in a late model or what, but goddamn, he was hustling that damn car.
Had it gone 5 more laps, I think he would have taken it, to be honest.
Yeah, at least caught Meisner and put pressure on him.
Yeah, 100%. I think 2 more laps he would have been there to put pressure on Meisner. But but yeah, it was interesting. I mean, it was great racing all around for sure.
Yeah.
It was good to see that car count too. They had 17 that showed up.
Quarter midgets and some racing in North Carolina. Okay,
There we
there you
go.
go. And I mean, if you're racing in North Carolina, there's a lot of cars and a lot of good drivers out that way. So
Yeah.
bringing that kind of stuff to Colorado, I mean, shoot, that's pretty good.
I mean, he was in a really good car.
I was gonna say he's in a really good car.
Yeah, really good car too. But exciting. It was fun to watch. It was a damn good race. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I thought that between the whole night there was a lot of great battles going on, and you know we didn't even talk about the crowd. It was good to see max capacity again, given that now we're into June.
Well, and especially Thunder Valley Nationals were going on.
Yeah, yeah, that's very true. That's with that going on, and we had a max capacity night. I mean, it was awesome. It was good to see. I mean, it's the first real night where we've had really good weather too.
Yeah.
It was finally warm. So now you're going to start seeing that more and more and more throughout the season, especially now because we're going to start coming into some of the special events
races
of the year. Yeah. So, and this upcoming one this weekend, which we'll get into in a minute. So should we touch on the trains?
Yeah. Yes. The first and foremost, it was pretty cool. It does look like Mark Bremkamp got the video. They did do a 4-wide salute for Mr. Johnny Whittar, which I thought was fantastic. That was really cool. But after that, I mean, the overall racing of the trains was just fine. Like there was a little bit of beating and banging at the start, which is normal, but it wasn't anything like I heard from the first train race where like dudes were just trying to take each other out intentionally and fight in the start finish line and stuff like that. Like it was actually good train racing.
Nobody came out with brass knuckles.
Yeah, exactly. But if you would like to touch on the incident that happened during that race.
I didn't even watch it, but my kids and everybody, you know, they all go watch it. But we were.
Oh, I was watching it.
I didn't watch the race itself, but I knew what had happened afterwards. I'd heard about it. And then I saw videos and pictures and everything else that floats around social media. So what had happened is two of them were coming in to turn 2 into turn 1. And one got pinched up against the wall right at the halfway point between turn 1 and 2, and got pushed up the wall, rode the wall, and then boom, got into the fence.
The brake car jumped the wall.
It was the gas car.
No. If you watch the video, it was the brake car of the first train. The brake car jumped the wall, and because he was going so high that when the car, you know, when they turn too hard and they fishtail, the guy turned it off the wall hard. The rear of the brake car jumped the wall and then took out the fence. And then I think that's when that second car came in and pinched up on the wall, because I don't know if he just didn't know what to do or was following that car and ended up just hitting the wall or what. But yeah, it was the bumper of the brake car jumped the fence and just ripped the whole thing right off.
Yeah, knocked the light off the wall, and it apparently was sitting in a fan's lap. Like it was just a bad deal, right? Like, and nobody got hurt. I mean, they posted it or whatever on the recap that nobody got hurt. I'm not going to speculate about what happened, because what ended up happening is that the races just kept going on, and there's a giant hole in the fence. And I don't know what, I obviously wasn't a part about it. I haven't heard anything about what the communication was like, but in that instance, I mean, I know that the security guards, and there were like fans down at the hole, and they're like waving and stuff and trying to like divert people from that area and whatnot. But
yeah,
it was just kind of him at that point.
Yeah. And it's tough to see because, you know, there was that Reddit post, right? And that's what went viral. And it's just kind of, it's hard to read that kind of stuff because there's keyboard warriors that all of a sudden they're going to start trashing the track, right? And I made some comments on Facebook, and I wasn't trying to trash the track at all or officials or anything, because I know how tough it is. And from where we were sitting on the back straightaway, I mean, I watched those cars climb the wall. I never once saw the fence part of it. Like it's when the lights are shining straight down off the fence onto the wall, onto the track, it's hard to, it's dark after that, and it's hard to see, right? So, you know, from where a lot of the officials stand and are looking at the track, you know, they're not specifically looking at the fence, right? They're trying to watch some of the action on the track of what's going on, of what the cars are doing, not what the fence is doing, right?
Right.
And I get the fans and the security people are trying to get the attention of people, but the last thing you should be doing, especially while a race is going on, is hanging halfway out the fucking wall, trying to wave at people. And Jared Wall even said on one of the comments that it's like, I didn't even see anything. You can't notice it when you're racing, but like 2 laps later, it was like all of a sudden he had like hands in his face. It's like that's just stupidity. And
as a fan, right? Like
as a fan, yeah, that's stupid.
It even says on the wall, like, or don't
stay away from the fence.
Stay away from the fence.
Right. So, and I get they're trying to help, but that's not your job.
Yeah,
there's security people right there for a reason. And
get the hell out of the way.
Yeah, and I made some inquiries with some people. I'm not going to say who, but it just so their security has their own channel of radio, and then like race directing and officials have their own channel of radio. And it just kind of sounds like in the heat of the moment, the guy's trying to communicate something and just forgot to switch channels, right? So like I don't want to dog that security guard at all. You know, heat of the moment, you know, I don't know if I would have done anything different, or if I, oh shit, you know, try to get to the, you know, the channel. You're just trying to release communication out there, right? Try to do something, right? So, but you know, and maybe this is something that going forward as officials, as track owner, as race director, maybe reevaluate that process, right? I'm not saying that they have to reinvent the wheel or anything, but obviously trying to communicate something faster and better probably could just be at least revisited to see if there is something that could change for the better, because you definitely don't want that happening again.
No, you definitely don't want that happening again, for sure. I mean, it's like a perfect storm, right? Like just and those races don't last very long. They're like what, 6-7 laps too,
something like that.
I'm not saying it's an excuse, but I mean, yeah, the race should have been stopped, but there in turn, like, you know, you have a lot of people trying to keep paying attention to what's going on the racetrack itself, and you know, people aren't necessarily looking in that direction. And like you said,
right,
you weren't the first person that I talked to that said they didn't even see it. And people that were sitting on the backstretch, like, didn't even see the hole in the fence.
Yeah. I didn't even notice people hanging out of the fence trying to like wave out the wall, you know?
Yeah.
And I'm watching the cars go through, purposely watching the cars go to 2 and 1 and 2 and 1. Right.
Yeah.
You know, so, but you know, it's just, like you said, it's the perfect storm of bad things that happened. And it just sucks that it happened at our track, and you don't want to see that. So I will have to say that I spoke with Brian, the GM, this afternoon. They are obviously getting it fixed. It was a total of, I think he said like 15, 20 feet or something like that. So yeah, so obviously they got to get that fixed, which they're hoping to try and get that fixed like in the next 2 days, right? Because there's some people that are wanting to go practice, us included, and they want to obviously respect that we want to go out and practice our cars for the big race this weekend, and get that fixed as soon as possible. But you can't have big cars out there with a gaping hole, and you know, bandos might be okay, but
bandos.
Bigger, I mean, bandos too, yeah, they could, but obviously, you know, big cars, you don't want them on the track when there's a
Well,
big
the
gaping
priority
hole.
is to get that fixed, right? Like, because you want to race this weekend versus us going to practice. So,
Right.
I'm
And
sure.
obviously, there's, you got to check the poles, make sure the poles are not bent or broken, or, the concrete support isn't broken. Obviously the lights and the speakers. So there's a lot to check, right?
Yeah.
I know they can probably get it done, fairly quickly, but you want to be diligent and take your time doing it, fix it right, instead of just wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. Oh shit, it didn't really fix it.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
But I mean, overall, the biggest takeaway, nobody got hurt. So
nobody got hurt.
that's the biggest thing. Nobody got hurt.
Yeah,
So,
because we went right after the races when people started coming into the pits and doing autographs. You saw the fire truck and the ambulance go by, and it's like, what the hell happened?
hell, yeah.
Yeah, like somebody fight in the pits, or like outside in the parking lot, or like what the hell? Yeah, and then all of a sudden we had a couple people come up and tell us exactly what happened. It's like, oh
Yeah. Didn't even know.
shit,
Didn't
damn.
even know.
Yeah,
Because Nicole was up there watching it. She's like, I was up there watching the train race. She's like, that didn't happen. I'm like, well, apparently it did. She's like,
Yeah.
I didn't see it. So,
Yeah.
I mean, it's tough.
People in the apex of turn 2 and 1 definitely saw it.
The one guy had beer in hand and was waving it and stuff. Like, we were just like, oh my God, go sit down.
Yeah.
Because, oh shoot, I mean, I remember getting hit in the head this last weekend with a big old chunk of rubber. It was like that big, dude, just right off the bill. It moved my hat. I was down like this. I was like, what the hell? And I looked down, and there's a big old piece of rubber.
Oh yeah.
Like that's the last thing you want to be doing is sticking your face in there and be like, what's going on over here?
Yeah,
like, Jesus Christ.
Especially with cars that are literally from the junkyard, thrown together with 4 wheels on it, and shit flies off them things all the time. It's like, yeah, let's just stick our freaking half our body out there, and some guys, they run flags and poles and like, oh hey, whap, there goes a pole in your face.
Serious.
If there's fans out there watching, please, if there's a big gaping hole in the fence, I get it. Your first instinct is to want to go help and wave off the cars. We can't see you on the track. Well, all we see is just stuff flying by us, and our focus is on our line, right? And we're not going to notice yet.
Even to that point, like when there's just a normal wreck, right? And they go running down to the fence and stuff. It's like, still back up from the fence. Like you never know. Like fire could happen at any point.
Well, the sprint car. Yeah. The wingless sprint car, that had actually been up against the wall.
Right.
And I want to go see it. Yeah. Alcohol,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Like stay away from the fence.
Mm-hmm.
You can't do anything anyways, and you're not going to see anything more being 20 feet closer than what was in your seat. You know, like just don't put yourself at risk, more or less, either. So,
yeah, exactly.
But anyways, all right, it was a great night. That's why we entitled this one "Wall 1, Train 0" was because of that incident. So. Try to make light of it at least a little bit. I know it was it was a major concern for a lot of people, and rightfully so. And I'm sure that they're going to take some necessary steps to try and make sure and ensure that things are watched a little bit more closely going forward.
Right. Right.
The chances of that kind of thing happening are very, very small. Not to say somebody getting up into the fence, but more or less in that instance. So hopefully, you take your lessons, you learn from them, and you move forward. So looking forward to this weekend. It's the Father's Day weekend. So big couple nights of racing coming up. So this Saturday, it is the Super Late Model 100. It is the Grand American Modified 75, and the Pure Stocks. Those three, that's just 3 divisions this weekend. Super late models, they'll be running 100 laps. We'll be running 75 laps, but they're going to be broken up into 25 and 50. And then the Pure Stocks, it's just going to be a regular old night for them. So, and then go ahead.
I was going to say, I think on the intermission on Saturday, they're doing a brief
Monster truck deal.
monster truck introduction or demonstration or something. I don't know. I hope it's not a demonstration and put dirt all over the track. Maybe just like bringing the cars out and just show what
Show 'em
monster
off.
trucks are. Yeah, show them off. Just, hey, these are the cars that are going to be here tomorrow. You know.
Yeah, just don't be
But
destroying stuff at the.
yeah, just don't put anything on a track. Just please.
Please. And then Sunday, turnaround Sunday. It is one of the biggest nights of the year for CNS. It's the Father's Day Super Sunday Monster Truck Show in Demo Cross. So yeah, they'll have the monster trucks out there just running over stuff, destroying stuff all over that place, and then they'll have the Demo Cross there to close out the night. So looking forward to this weekend. It's going to be very interesting. I mean, anticipation wise, hopefully we get close to 20 super late models. It'd be really nice if that were to happen. I know we had what, like 15 or 16 the last race.
I know Jace Hansen, we thought he'd be running the mod, but he is going to run the super this weekend. It looks like according to Facebook. So
yeah,
that's
he'll be there.
Super.
He's going to be tough. He's going to be tough to beat. He's definitely been really fast so far this year in that Preston car. So
the P1.
Modifieds wise, I'm anticipating 25, somewhere right around there. I think we're going to see a few new cars come out this weekend that haven't made yeah, exactly.
I will be there.
Yeah, we're
bringing Black Betty out.
See a few new race cars out this race specifically. So yeah, and hopefully get about 25 of them. It's gonna be interesting for sure. And then the pure stocks. I mean, they always pull a good car count as well. 20 some plus that.
Well, I think what was it? A couple of weeks ago, I can't remember what it was. Yeah, Jim had said in his pit meeting, he's like, I was kind of going on maybe putting the super stocks, pure stocks together, but the first night there was 22 super stocks or 25 super stocks and like 21 pure stocks. He's like, I'm not putting 43 cars out on my racetrack. So he's like, I would too, but I get it, but you know,
I would. It's just me.
You know, yeah. Those are still pretty damn good car counts. So
that's the thing, right? Like it's about the show. I mean, you get we've talked about it numerous times. One of my favorite races of the year is at the very end when they put them all together and they all are together. 40 plus of them things are on the racetrack at one time. But I mean, I get it. It also comes down to pit stalls too. There is a limitation on how many cars can actually physically fit in the racetrack too.
Yeah.
You know, if you got combined 40 to 50 modifieds and super late models, and then you add another 40, you know, pure stock, super stocks, things get real tight real fast. So totally understand that part of it. But I do want to bring up this comment. Wish they would just run it as a full main. I agree. I wish it was just 75 laps. But and this is only speculation. I think it just has to do. We've already missed one event this year. I think it has to do with some of the NASCAR points as well. Giving us a chance to gain more NASCAR points. Personally, I don't give a shit. I'd rather have 75 laps, but I understand the nature of, you know, your NASCAR sanctioned racetrack, and you know there's things you have to do.
Well, and just it seems like the way they kind of made this race, they wanted to give the best car, right, an extra $1,000 incentive, right? Because you're going to get $1,000 first race. We're assuming $1,000 for the second race, and then the highest points getter out of both races. So if you win both races, obviously you get the extra 1,000. If you win one race and you're second in the second one, and nobody else was like that, then you get the extra 1,000. So, like, I get it. It kind of puts a little additive like thing into it, but yeah, just 75 laps, 3,000 of the winner, and then the purse go down from there. Like, yeah. But I do know there's two cars, and One car that's very good friends of ours that he doesn't want to have to adjust his car too much because he only runs an 8-gallon gas tank for our 30 lap race for normal. And if we run a 75 lapper, he'd have to put a bigger gas tank in it. So he's like, thankfully, I don't have to do that because it's not a big pain in the ass, but it's kind of a pain in the ass.
Yeah, it's never fun.
Yeah, changing a gas tank just because we're going 75 laps for one race.
Yeah, I mean, just put the bigger one in it and leave it.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
It's all about the data, man.
Wait.
Weight is weight.
In my opinion. I mean,
There's some people out that are going to challenge you on that.
I'm sure I'm going to get challenged on that one, but anyways, looking forward to this weekend. It's going to be a great night of racing once again. So definitely come on out. It's going to be beautiful. I mean, wasn't it supposed to be like 89?
Oh no, it's supposed to be 90 degrees, like hardly cloudy.
Ugh.
Like mainly sunny.
Sweat my ass off.
Yeah.
Ugh.
I'm in a black car, dude.
Yeah, it sucks for you, bro. And we did that on purpose.
Yeah, thanks. Well, and there is something I not to go back to the bandos, but their feature race, they had them staged so early during that circle drag race that like a lot of the kids over there apparently were just sweating their ass off. And a couple kids were, you could just tell after the race, you see them, they're like instantly putting ice bags on them, like they were overheated. And I think a little bit of Addie's issue too was I think she got super dehydrated and got hot because she's also in an all black car.
Yeah, she's an all black car.
They're enclosed with that plexiglass windshield. Yeah. I'm not looking forward to Saturday sitting and staging for practice and heat race.
I don't know what that feeling's like having a windshield. You know what I mean? Like because it's hot when we're just sitting there baking, right? Like, no, you're not moving. It's hot. But then once we get moving, we don't run windshields or anything. Like you can even just crack your lid just a little bit and get some airflow.
Air to the face.
And it's totally fixed. You're fine after. Once you start moving, you're fine. At least in a month.
Well, that one race that I raced Cassidy Hines' truck, having the windshield and being enclosed, I probably lost like 8 pounds that day sweating because it gets hot. And it was great. It was fun, but it was not fun sitting in the sun. I can tell you that.
SRL night was sitting in qualifying, waiting to go qualifying. It was fucking brutal, dude. It was hot that day. I'll never forget that one. It was hot. Yeah. I put my air helmet blower back in the car just for days like what's coming up on Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna die.
Yeah, I might die. First race back, I might die.
I'm going out the way I want to.
Yeah. Oh, here we go, God. Just take me now.
But anyways, that's pretty much it from us. Like we said, we kind of had a lot to talk about tonight. So thank you all for tuning in. We appreciate it. Looking forward to next week. We might have a little bit of a special guest next week.
Oh,
what?
Keep going. I thought of something that we need to talk about, or at least mention.
We'll do it right now.
Okay. We got a text message the other day, and I want to apologize to this person first and foremost because Mr. Brian Sanders got the job of a lifetime of spotting for Keelan Harvick last weekend, and not this last weekend, the weekend before, obviously, and picked up a win with Mr. Keelan Harvick. And he was very mad that we did not have a podcast last Tuesday to talk about his win. So congratulations, Brian Sanders. That was awesome. I'm sure it was fun hanging out with the Harvicks and getting to know them and spotting for Keelan. Hopefully Saturday you will be at CNS so you can kind of tell us some stories about your experience. But to go out and spot for the first time with Keelan Harvick or the Harvicks in general and get a W with them, I mean, damn, that's pretty special. So congratulations, sir.
Indeed, congratulations. I do want to touch on one other series, and this is because it's near and dear to us. Um, the Midwest Modified Tour kicked off their season. They had the rain out in
Oh
the very
yeah.
first race, and they kicked off their season at Toledo this last weekend. 48 modifieds showed up to that race.
Mm-hmm.
For modifieds, right? That's a lot.
Yeah.
That's a lot. And they were there. And if nobody's ever seen pictures or know much about Toledo Speedway, go look it up on YouTube. It's a half mile. It's pretty banked. Shorter straightaways, super long, wide turns. You can carry a lot of speed there. They were doing 16 flat, 15 nines around that place, averaging 100 and what, 14, 15 miles an hour?
114. Average 114
Average
miles an hour.
114 miles an hour around
That means they're
place.
doing like 120, almost 125, 130 down the straightaway, and like 100, 105 through the corners.
Yeah, it's, if you guys haven't seen it, go check it out on YouTube. It is wicked, wicked fast, faster than
Mhm.
Winchester. Yeah, faster than
Yep.
Winchester. But
Mhm.
anyways, wanted to throw that out there. Definitely a series to keep your eye on. And if you guys, you're into modified racing and stuff like that, definitely check it out. There's a lot of good shoes that have been showing up to that series for the 5 or 6 races that they have on the schedule this year. Definitely entertaining. So that's pretty much up for me. Thank you all. Looking forward to this weekend, getting back out there and get another race under a belt. It's going to be awesome. Be anxious to get back home too, being out here in Kansas City, doing some training and working with some fellow coworkers and whatnot for the first couple days here. Anxious to get back to the shop and get some
You're
work
in
done.
Chiefs country, dude. So get the
Oh,
fuck out
dude.
of there.
It's so fun. I know there's some Chiefs fans that watch our show, but oh my God, dude. Everywhere you walk around this place, somebody's got a fucking Chiefs shirt on or something. Some dude today, we're at lunch. I got to tell this story real quick. We're at lunch today. We went to this barbecue place. I've eaten barbecue for 2 straight days. I mean, you have to when you're in Kansas City.
Of course.
And this old man that's sitting next to us at the table, he's got on a red t-shirt, and on the front of it is an image of Travis Kelce and Patrick Mahomes in like that setup with like Step Brothers where they're at like the JC Penney image, This dude's maybe 85, 86 years old. Like, and he's just, just no big deal wearing this t-shirt. I was cracking up.
Oh my God.
Really funny.
Would have been even better if they were signed.
Yeah.
Or if you had Taylor Swift in the background, like,
yeah, doing one of these.
Yeah.
But,
oh my God.
All right, you got any closing comments?
Yeah. Thanks everybody for watching. Like, share, subscribe. If there's people that weren't on here tonight that that should be watching, make sure you get on their asses. Just kidding. It's your own free will. You can do what you want. But yeah, let's try and go viral and make these podcasts every week, big and brighter every single week. I obviously update health-wise. The last 2 weeks, I've been getting a lot better. Especially the last couple of days, I felt a lot stronger. Mobility is much better this week. I was, saw some people obviously on Saturday that were coming up and asking how I was doing and said I look good. And I, asking how are things going? It's like, yeah, it's going good, blah, blah, blah. But I'd never thought I'd ever say I'm having troubles gaining weight. It's always, oh, I can't lose weight worth of shit. Like I'm doing this, I'm doing that, and I can't lose a pound. It's like, I have the reverse effect now, but getting there. I eat like probably 6 PBJs a day and like 3 protein shakes a day, but slowly getting there. But just the mobility and strength, especially the last 2 days, I feel much better and getting back to kind of a normal thing. So, yeah, so we're going to practice Friday, see how I feel. I still don't want to make a rash decision on racing Saturday. I still want to make sure that come Friday practice, I feel good and strong enough to do it. If I still feel like it's something that I just need to wait one more time. I will gladly sit out one more time, but I don't think that's going to be the case this week. So stubborn, I'm itching and ready to get back in that car. And like my dad said today, he's like, adrenaline's going to kick in and you're going to be just fine. He's like, Sunday might not be great, but you know what? Saturday, you're going to be just fine. So I have no doubts I'll be just fine on Saturday. So looking forward to getting back in the car and racing with everybody on Saturday. But other than that, again, prayers and love and wishes go out to the Whittar family, Sport and Johnny. You know, if you can reach out to the Whittars and at least just show them some support like you do with everybody else, you know, please do so. I'm sure they're gonna need it. So other than that, it's good for me.
All right, I have two quick things to go over. I just got a text message from a solid listener, Mr. Scott Dent. He wants to know when are we going to do our picks for the year? So we haven't done that. I've thought about this, so
he wants us to pick quiet.
I know. Hey, I mean, I'm not opposed to that, to be honest. But
especially this year.
With the rains and stuff that have kind of washed a couple of races away, we kind of waited a few weeks. I wanted to wait a few weeks in order to, you know, kind of get the season rolling, see who all showed up and was going to be there consistently. And then, you know, you always kind of just base it just off of what you see the first handful of races, right? Like you make your picks. So we'll definitely do that in the next couple of shows here. Maybe we'll split it up. We'll do like half of them next week, and then we'll save it for the other half for the following week or something like that. This is really funny. I don't know how this person knows this, but I have to pull this up. Hey, George, did you play golf with Vic Lombardi? Yes, I did.
Yeah.
I got to play golf with Vic Lombardi. That was
did he announce you on the radio or something?
I don't know. I don't know if he said anything or what, but
I see that comment too. Please explain, Mr. Bramkamp, how you know that.
Yes. Vic is one of our spokespersons on the radio for Altitude Radio. So if you guys listen to them in the morning show, Vic is he's an advocate for AAA service. So I haven't really got a chance to like meet him yet. And I met him one time. I went to one of the hockey games. What was one where I went with you?
Yeah, you and I went. Yeah,
we went and got a chance to like sit and chat with him for a few minutes. And then he somehow knew I played golf. So, you know, we was like, hey, you know, let's go play sometime, and got to go play golf with him. So the dude is, I will say this, he's the same person that you hear on the radio is the same person that you see, you know, in just normal everyday life. He's just fucking hilarious.
We got to get him out for some beers or something, because he's got some funny stories, and that man is just funnier than hell on the radio.
Well, and I did talk to him about getting him and Mark Mosier out to the races again this year, and they said that they would be down to go out and check it out sometime. So you might see them, you know, rolling around the beer garden or in the pit areas sometime here pretty soon. I told him I'd get him some tickets. So
yeah, and they'll stand out too, because
you can't miss it.
I don't think Vic Lombardi's going to know exactly how to dress to a race, or, you know, a redneck event. So I'll be interested to see his attire.
He did say that his like nephew or relative or something that races karts out at IMI, so he's gotten a chance to go like catch one of their races or something. But
he was talking about your short game on a live read this morning.
Oh Jesus!
I gotta know where this was, and if they recorded it, I need to go back and watch that because I missed it.
He was talking about my short game. Great. I won't get into my golf game much. I missed putts, like good, decent putts, like 8, 10, 12 footers. Like they were hitting the rim all day long. Like I couldn't buy a birdie when I went out there. I couldn't buy one. It was so bad. But anyways,
maybe his new nickname for you is Rim Job.
I have to change the name on the back of my shirt.
Yep, there you go.
Oh man! But anyways, thank you all for tuning in. Appreciate it. All the love and support. looking forward to this weekend, like I said, and then, tune in next week and we'll have a recap of the shenanigans that might go down this weekend. You never know what might happen. So hopefully good things though. Get some good racing in, get some entertainment, and hopefully everybody comes out on the other side okay and no wrecks or anything like that.
Get your family, get your friends, get people that never come out before, get them out, come support our local racing, and it's going to be a good weekend. So tell them, bring the sunscreen and lots of water, or things that have water in it.
Stay hydrated. So with that, thank you all for tuning in, and till next time, keep on carrying on.